Right. Yo, 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 yo. AWOOD from the hood. AWOOD from the hood. We back. It's AWOOD from the hood. All right, y'all. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this thing today. Um, First thing we're gonna talk about the Olympics. Like I said, we only got 2 more days of the Olympics after today. So of course Olympic talk. Might talk about it for a day or two afterwards, but then we'll be on to bigger and better things. But biggest news in the world right now is gonna be the Olympics. So we're gonna open up with the Olympics. So shout out Sha'Carri Richardson again. I know I shouted out Sha'Carri Richardson in my last video. Shout out Sha'Carri Richardson again. Not just Sha'Carri Richardson, but shout out to the entire 4x100 women's team for bringing home the gold in the 4x100 meter. So yeah, shout out to you guys. Great work that you guys putting in. We also have to talk about the elephant in the room from yesterday, which was Noah Lyles and him testing positive for COVID and still competing. And he competed in the 200 meter, which is his signature race, and ended up coming in third place, getting bronze. Congratulations on the medal. Not the finish that he would have wanted, but great to see him still medal. It was kind of a little controversy because before the race he was all hyped up and everything, and then after the race he left in a wheelchair. But as we've seen over the past, the past 3 to 4 years, COVID is a weird thing. It affects different people different ways. So let's not be quick to call them out. You got adrenaline flowing and everything like that helps to counteract the symptoms and things that's going. But let's not jump to conclusions because COVID-19 is a very serious deal. And wishing him a speedy recovery and hope, well wishes. Hopefully he gets better soon and he's able to get back to competing. Never good when you see somebody get injured or get sick. People's livelihood is still at stake. Even though these are athletes and world renowned and these things, they're still human beings at the end of the day. So shout out to the guy that won first place. Kind of a little controversy. I wouldn't say controversy. It was just he took a little jab at Noah, saying that he can't be the face of track and field. He can't be the face of track because he's not as loud and I guess arrogant as Noah is. He called him out by name. A winner gets the right to talk their shit. Point blank. Period. Even if you might not like it, a win is a win, and the victor is always afforded that opportunity to, relish in their victory. So don't got no problem with what he said. I'm still all for America, but I'm also I'm a athlete myself, former and current, and I just understand that it's competition. It's probably nothing really too personal, and if it is, hey, it's between two people that that are competing, and if it gets that way, it gets that way. But so as of now, at the time of this recording, we are once again tied for first with China with 33 gold medals. We are leading the overall medal count by a margin so far ahead that it's it's impossible for anybody to overtake us in the ending days of the Olympics. So even though we still got a couple more days left, I want to give a pat on round of applause, pat on the back to the good old United States of America for showing out at this Olympics and really showing up, showing out, and performing to the best of you guys and girls' abilities, and making our nation proud. So congratulations to all of the Olympic athletes. So yeah, shout out to some of the athletes that medaled today, and track and field and other events. So in track and field, we got Ray Benjamin coming in first place in the men's 400 meter. We have Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone. If I butchered that name, I really apologize. I love to watch her too. Like I watched her race, and I believe it was the prelims. When they had the prelims, we were watching her race, and I mean that she does her thing. She does her thing with those hurdles. I mean, she set a world record. Shout out, she won gold, and also shout out Anna Cockrell, who took home the silver medal in the 400-meter hurdles. You know, great to see these women excelling in their events and putting on for Team USA. Also, we got Aaron Brooks taking home bronze in the men's freestyle wrestling event. So congratulations to you too, my guy. We also got Helen Morales. I apologize for butchering that name, but getting bronze in women's freestyle wrestling. Shout out Olivia Reeves winning gold in the women's weightlifting for the 71 kilograms. Shout out to Christina Treachout for earning bronze in women's taekwondo. So yeah, those are a few athletes I wanted to shout out today that medaled today. We still got events going on today that's going to happen after I record today. Just was really excited to record. Hadn't recorded in a couple of days, and wanted to get back on here and get you guys a show. So those are a few athletes that medaled today, and we got, well, of course the women's 400-meter hurdles was yesterday. So, but I just thought I'd throw them in there because I did plan on recording the episode yesterday, but things happened. Like I always, like I said, life happens. So just roll with the punches. Just to wrap up Olympics talk today, just to bring back up the Noah Lyles situation. It was stated that he found out that he tested positive for COVID. It said 5 a.m. Tuesday, I believe. So which would have been about 10 o'clock Monday night in Texas time. So yeah, he's known about it all week. He competed in his original race in the 100-meter. He competed in it with COVID. So mixed. It's mixed opinions on his situation and why he still chose to compete in events, even though he knows that he had tested positive. That he tested positive for COVID. But hey, I guess we'll see in the coming days what comes out of that. But yeah, as far as for the Olympics, that's big news. That's the big news as far as track and field. Men's basketball, Team USA men's basketball with the most exhilarating comeback against Team Serbia. Jokic and the boys. Second most points scored in the Olympic Games. That's Stephen Curry for you. And only the fourth triple-double in the Olympics history by one LeBron James, who now has 2 out of the 4. So that's the type of history that we were setting that night, and it was a great game. Like I said in one of my earlier episodes, whether you win by 1 point or you win by 20 points, a win is a win. We're going to win gold whether we win by 1 point, whether we win the gold medal game by 1 point or we win it by 20. So it was a great win. It was great to see how how the team rallied being down. Bogdanovich feeling himself, getting into with Melo, trying to, showboat. Yeah, that was the wrong thing to do. One thing that people don't understand about us Americans, man, we really prideful. and our pride leads all. Team USA women's basketball, 60 straight wins, and they'll be playing in the gold medal game as well, competing for their 8th straight Olympic medal. It's crazy. The level of dominance that Team USA women's basketball displays. Looking to bring that gold medal home. 60 straight wins, 77-3 all time in the Olympics history for Team USA women's basketball. I mean, that's a level of greatness that's crazy because, you know, we talking about 60 straight Olympic wins, 8 consecutive gold medal, possibly. The level of dominance Team USA women's basketball has displayed since its inception is amazing. So, shout out to the Team USA women's basketball. I know y'all gonna bring us home the gold. Shout out Team USA men's basketball. I know y'all gonna bring us home the gold. Like I say, three events that we really pride ourselves on as Americans is basketball, track and field, and swimming. We do very great in those events in the Olympics, every Olympics, and this year was no different. So switching gears, NFL preseason. The NFL is back, baby. The NFL is back. We had the Hall of Fame game this past Thursday. My Houston Texans played the Chicago Bears. We did a pretty good job. I love the team. No starters played, but I love the fact that the backups came in and they performed right off the rip. I mean, Davis Mills looked great. Case Keenum even came in and looked great. The run game is still looking kind of shaky. I mean, I think the most yards per carry we had for one of our running backs was like 2.5, 2.6. Hopefully that running game gets bolstered, and you know, we get better at running the ball, running the football, because we have all the tools to throw the football and be great. Be great there. We just need to be able to run the football to take a little pressure off of the receivers, off of the quarterback, and, you know, be able to you know, hand that rock off. We got Joe Mixon, who is presumably going to be the starter. We got Damian Pierce, who's more than capable of being a starter, and we have Cam Akers, dude that's came back from injury in like the last three years. He's come back from some serious injuries quick, and I mean, he came in the game, and I mean, he looked really good. He looked really great. I mean, I believe he caught the touchdown from Case Keenum. Yeah, we looked great. We looked great on both sides of the ball. As far as, like, you know, seeing our backups play, I can't wait to see the starters. Can't wait to see the starters tonight. Yeah, we play today. Can't wait to see the starters, and hopefully we hit the ground running. Preseason is great. We go into the regular season ready, and like I said, there's no reason why I don't see we should be at least 14-3, 13-4. I feel like anything less than, at this point, anything less than 11 games is like, hey, let's see what we do in the playoffs. But I feel like this team could win 13, possibly 14 games. I see us competing, being one of the top teams in the league, and I see us competing with the likes of, you know, Kansas City if they remain healthy, Baltimore, Buffalo, Cincinnati if they're healthy, you know, Joe Burrow healthy. I see us competing with them. So don't really have a great outlook on this season. I had a great outlook last season, even though a lot of people was downing us and saying that we were gonna be bad. I knew that we were gonna shock the world, and I said we were gonna make the playoffs. I didn't know that we was gonna win the division because the Colts were still really a really decent team, really solid team. Jacksonville coming off of their season last year, and getting a playoff win, and coming back from that 27-0 deficit in the first round against the Chargers. I thought we would have an uphill battle, just making the playoffs, but C.J. Stroud was sensational. That defense was sensational. We limited turnovers on the offensive side of the ball. We created turnovers on the defensive side of the ball, and we put together a great season and a great playoff win and a great 2.5 quarters against the number 1 seeded Baltimore Ravens. I mean, we know how that game ended, but we were doing great. Another preseason news. So the Panthers played New England, and New England won decisively. Two score win. Like I say, I like Joe Milton. Let me just say that I like Joe Milton. I know Patriots got Drake May. They still got Bailey Zappi, and they signed Jacoby Brissett. But that Joe Milton from out of Tennessee, I wouldn't be surprised if we see him in the regular season, possibly in a meaningful game. He showed that athleticism and that arm strength and the ability to move. And these preseason games is where hey, he might be Drake May might have been that top 5 pick, but in this day and age, as we've seen with Trey Lance, it doesn't really matter. You could be a top 10 pick, top 5 pick, top 3 pick. If you're not good, they'll move on from you. I mean, the days of these young guys getting 3 and 4 years to develop and everything, because what happens is, before I go into that, Giants and Lions played yesterday. Giants won that one. I like the Lions. Lions is a team that I root for on the NFC side. I don't really make too much of it. It's preseason. They're poised to have a great season as well, build off of an NFC Championship appearance last year. So, like I said, I'm not too worried about them. Letting everybody know, Texans is the main team, the team I go for, rock for. But I'm the type of person I like to have a dog in the fight on each side. So, like I said, I used to be a Bears fan. Once I started, being able to, getting into my hometown team, watch my hometown team, they became my focal team. I rooted for the Bears on the NFC side, and then eventually I stopped rooting for the Bears because my favorite player no longer played there and didn't like the way the organization was going. So once free agency hit for us fans, I went ahead and jumped on the Lions train earlier. I was one of the first early people rooting for Dan Campbell. I was like, man, he sounds no nonsense. He sounds like he really knows what he's talking about. It may sound crazy, but it sounds like he gonna get these guys ready to play and ready to execute. And in his tenure, they've only gotten better. They've gotten better every year. And like I said, I see them putting together a great season, barring injury. With all these, speaking of all these teams, it's always barring injury. But so for those that's watching, obviously you can see that it's a different layout now. Well, Probably can't tell, but no natural light because it's dark now. I got a different shirt on now. And my mood kind of overall changed. I'm new to this content creator space. Been trying to break into it, and just had my first mishap. Recorded a whole about 37, 38 minute second half to the first half of the video that you seen. That was basically just a continuation. I do that from time to time. I'll split my videos up as I'm recording them, just to give me a basis point when I'm editing. It's just a little quirk. Unfortunately, during the second recording, I must have ran out of space on my camera, so it didn't save the video. It corrupted the file, so the video, audio, all that's gone. 30, almost 40 minutes of great conversation that I really wish you guys could have heard, because it included predictions for the preseason games that happened today. It was some great content. I hate that I lost it, but dust yourself off, try again. Minor setback, major comeback. Yeah. So for those who listening, this is an extension of the first part. It's just now I'm recording later in the day, so a few of the things that I talked about earlier kind of obsolete, like my predictions for the preseason games. It wouldn't even be good for me to say it now, because it just, if some of my predictions would have been right, it doesn't make any difference. So probably on my next episode, if I record early enough before the Sunday games, might could drop you out some predictions, or if I do end up recording after, I just drop my predictions, my preseason predictions for the preseason week 3. So not gonna be too bummed out about that, but minor setback, no big deal. But to continue about what I was talking about earlier, like I say, conversation from the previous recording. One of the reasons why, these NFL execs, owners, GMs, higher ups, they're not going to give these players, specifically quarterbacks, they're not going to give them 3 and 4 years to develop anymore, and they'll be deep off into their rookie contract, and they have to be put in a Daniel Jones situation where you decline his 5th year option, and you let him take a gamble, and he has basically his best season as a pro in the contract year, and now your hands are tied, because is he really this good? Is he really developed? Is he really coming to himself, or he's just a 1-year wonder? Because a lot of people are, already super overcritical of Daniel Jones when he got the contract, and overpaid way too much. He didn't prove anything. Had his best season, but he had his best numbers. Led the team to a winning record, playoff berth, playoff win. He did, he basically did everything you needed to do in a contract year if you hadn't proved yourself up until that point, hadn't gotten an extension. So their hands were tied, and they signed him. And first couple of games of the next season are horrendous, and he ends up getting hurt. So now you don't even get a good look. You didn't even get to get a good look at him, under that, under the guy, under the of him knowing the benefit that he has financial security and he's good, not just play football. So that sucks. But with the emergence of dudes like Brock Purdy, C.J. Stroud, the only thing that's probably saving the quarterback that has to develop anything is the Jordan Love scenario, and even him, that could be a 1-year wonder. First year starting in the league, you take the league by storm, and then they got a good year of tape on you, and the next thing you know, he's mediocre or even worse. But that's really the only true, as far as like in the recent times, like if you want to say like within the past 5 years, that's worked out, where a quarterback has, he sat behind Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers left. He takes over the reins, and leads them to a playoff berth, and wins a playoff game. And he sat behind Aaron Rodgers. He developed. He played. I think Aaron Rodgers' tenure, he only played like 2 games. He only played in like 2 games, and he was able, to have a great season, his first season starting. But with a lot of these guys coming out of the gate, being kind of ready made, it's kind of getting difficult for the guys that may be like prototypical guys, because it's a win now league, and they want dudes like Joe Burrow. They want dudes like CJ Stroud. They want dudes like, even a Brock Purdy, a dude that gets selected in later rounds, that comes in and plays well rookie season, plays well second season, and now going into his third season, we're going to see, is he really like that? I mean, it's looking like he's really like that. So, saying all that to say, like, I like Daniel Jones. I see the potential in Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is a great athlete. He has great traits and characteristics. I just feel like he was in a bad situation last year, and then on top of that, he got hurt. So, I feel like the Giants coming back this year with a vengeance. He's healthy. He gets healthy, and they lost some pieces, but who knows? I mean, if he could play, if he can just replicate the season that he had back when 2 years ago when they made the playoffs, and build off of that momentum, who knows? I was shocked, just like everyone, when he got drafted. He was a top 10 pick, and nobody had him touted as a top 10 pick. Nobody. So, yeah. So I just think the league is going more towards trying to find guys that are going to make an impact young while they're still on their rookie deal, and in order for them to want to pay them down the line, after year, getting the extension after year 3, getting that extension after year 3, you got to play well and produce, or you're going to go into year 4 and they won't pick up your 5th-year option. So, you're going to go into that 4th season basically like a contract year, and they might start just leaning towards letting guys walk. Like, hey, look, if you think you're worth all this money, we don't really see it, and we don't really see it, and we rather move on, sort of like with the Saquon Barkley situation. Top 3 pick, played great, but had some injury history, had some injury problems. Got the franchise tag, played under the franchise tag. Like, if you paid attention to Hard Knocks, you'll see basically how that whole debacle ended with him and the Giants. I just feel like the league is in a youth movement. You're gonna have some, age veterans that they still gonna want to bring around to teach these guys how to be pros, and teach them how to, teach them the ins and the outs, nuances of the game. But for the most part, I think it's gonna be a youth movement, because what's gonna end up happening is it's gonna be 4 or 5 players on a team that's making, for lack of a better term, fuck you money. You know, you might have 2 on offense, 2 on defense, and then the rest is gonna most likely have to be guys. You know, just guys that you can plug into your system, and it works because, you know, these guys are that you know, they're getting more demanding. You know, demanding what they're worth, and seeing what their peers are getting, and you know, putting you know, making 1 plus 1 equal. You know, if 1 plus 1 not adding up to 2, then you know, they taking control of their careers, and a lot of people are getting frustrated and be like, man, look, y'all need it. That's a job, isn't it? Look, especially in football, these guys are putting their lives on the line, their health on the line. I know what they signed up for, but it's just like if you were at your job and you had been, you know, constantly performing high and everything, and you have a performance review, and you feel like you're worth X, Y, and Z, and it's your boss's job, or you know, your supervisor, manager, it's their job to point out your flaws, to try to get you closer to a more manageable number for them. So it's that's the part of negotiations and strategy and all that things. I don't really cut too deep into dudes holding out a training camp and all that. I'm a big advocate for get your money, you know, get your money, but at the same time, don't be too greedy. You know, if you got, you know, if you got dudes that's still trying to collect the check off of their name and what they've done in the league, nah, I don't feel like that's the way to go. But you know, it's all right and the wrong way for everything. But I mean, it seemed like it's a youth movement. I mean, the youngest team in the, think about this. 10 years ago, the youngest team in the league probably gets washed, you know, on a regular. You know, probably doesn't have the best the greatest record. Probably, you know, is probably the bottom tier or middle of the pack feed. Well, the Green Bay Packers, who were the youngest team in the NFL last year, not only made the playoffs, but they won a playoff game against a Dallas Cowboys team that was, you know, possibly overhyped, but, you know, had a great defense and, you know, had MVP candidate in Dak, you know, and they did that. So I think it's a youth movement in the league, and these guys should take notes. I mean, you don't produce, and then, you know, you may have a great season at the end, but I believe it's up to these owners to figure out if that's something that they want to press forward with and you know, keep going. In other news, 4 teams debuted their throwback jerseys that they're gonna be wearing this year. It's got the Denver Broncos with their Orange Crush. Really like those. You got the New York Giants. You have the Jacksonville Jaguars, and then you also have the New York Jets. If I had to rank them, I go Broncos, Jets, Giants, Jaguars. AFC South rivalry might have been a little bit why I wanted to put the Jaguars last, but kind of looks like they're you know, jersey that they've been wearing recently, so it's not too pizzazz. I like the Orange Crush. I like the Jets. You know, I like the Jets throwback. I like the Giants throwback. It brings a different aspect. Usually, the uniform aesthetic brings a different aspect to the game. You know, people say they look good. You look good, feel good, play good. So you never know how some of these players feel about it, and it's just great to be able to know that these teams, you know, are at least trying to make the presentation you know, feel more diverse and inclusive. So that's great. Yeah, so CBS Sports released the 2024 under 25 NFL offensive team. You got Brock Purdy, Bijan Robinson, Jamar Chase, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Garrett Wilson as receivers, Sam Laporta tight end, and then you got Charles Cross, Tyler Smith, Tyler Lindenbaum, Osiris Torrance, and Penei Sewell, all going to be the offensive line. Then for the second team, you got C.J. Stroud, Breece Hall. You got receivers Puka Nacua, Chris Olave, George Pickens, and Dalton Kincaid is going to be the tight end. You got Rasheed Walker, Zion Johnson, Steve Avila, Dylan Parham, and Darnell Wright are going to be. Even though I got Texans bias, I feel like C.J. Stroud is definitely a top-tier quarterback, especially under the age of 25. Had a really good season last year. Led his team to the playoffs. Won a playoff game. Great numbers. Kind of with Brock Purdy has had more teams, has had a bigger sample size in the league than CJ. So that's probably what has him over CJ at the moment. But I mean, if I was starting a team right now, you ask me who would I want, Brock Purdy or CJ Stroud, I feel like 9 times out of 10, everybody, people going to pick CJ Stroud. But no shade to Brock Purdy. He's great within the 40, that Kyle Shanahan system, within that that 49er system that they run. He excels in it. He runs it exactly how it's meant to be run. Minimal mistakes, That's all the tools you need, especially when you got a great offensive line and a great running game, great receivers, and solid defense. Possibly top tier defense. You're gonna have great team success. So no shade to Brock Purdy. Got a little Texans bias. Would have liked to see my quarterback won, but I understand he's only been in the league a year. Small sample sizes. I mean, plenty of people might have broke out in their first year or two and never recaptured that magic again. So shout out CJ Stroud, by the way. He had a touchdown pass. Today in our preseason game. I'm rooting for us this season. Seems like we're gonna do some big things. So, just a quick rundown baseball. Just keeping everybody up to date on all the sports that's going on. You got Baltimore and New York tied for the best record in the AL at 68-48, and then you have Philly having the best record in baseball at 69-46. And leading the National League. My Astros, 59-55, currently ahead in the AL West, poised to make another run this year. Disappointing loss last year. So we'd love to see us bounce back and make it back to the World Series and bring us home another chip. So I would love to be able to attend the parade, because when we won it the first time, I had just started my job and couldn't get off and missed that parade. And when they went in 2022, I was living in San Antonio and couldn't, had to work, couldn't get down here for the parade. So I would love if 2024 would be our year for the Astros. So go Stros. Still plenty of baseball left. Looking like they got about 50 games, 40, 50 games left in that season before they start ramping up for the playoffs. So be looking for, baseball updates as they come. So, pushing past sports, I'm a car guy, and my dream car, it still is my dream car, but I've had it already. So, the Dodge Charger. I owned the Dodge Charger before. That was my baby. I had it 4 years, and I plan on getting me either a Charger or a Challenger. I haven't made my mind up on which one I want. I've been kind of thinking about it. I was kind of excited for the 2024 release Charger. I like the body style. I love the Charger. Unfortunately, the EV take on the Charger, I don't think is great. We talking about a company who cut its teeth in recent years off making, ridiculously OP V8s and putting them in Chargers, Challengers, Jeeps, Durangos, and Ram trucks, and it's, that's what the company is known for. And for them to want to take a firm left and go straight EV with basically the best car, the best vehicles that they had on their lot, their best selling vehicles, and it's just not looking good for them. Their sales was down in their quarter, and they're taking a hit. Public opinion on them is bad. A lot of people are calling for the CEO's job. CEO of Stellantis, which is the company that owns the FCA, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. So one of the reasons at the forefront is because they dropped the new pricing for the 2024s, which are delayed in release because they've been having so many problems. So keep that in mind. They're releasing a new 2024 EV Dodge Charger Daytona RT at $61,590, and that's gonna come with a horsepower of 469. Then you got the EV Charger Daytona Scat Pack that's gonna come at a whopping $75,185, and it's gonna have 670 horsepower. You're gonna be able to basically, with that amount of money, you go get you a used Hellcat. A used SRT, and from the factory, 707 horsepower, 700 horsepower, and it's already beating these things. The acceleration is going to be crazy because it's an electric vehicle, but top speed, and all that it's not up to Mopar enthusiast level, and that's why a lot of people are not on board with it. And EVs just haven't caught on in the US, as far as with in the market that we're in, and things of that nature. So I was kind of excited about it. like I said, I like the body style, but as I've done more research and everything, because you got to do research in anything, especially if if you're going to be in the market of buying a vehicle, or making an expensive purchase, you always want to do your research first. And from most of the research, it's more bad than good. The bad outweighs the good, and that's never really a good sign. So let me know what y'all think about the new charges that they dropping. Blueface got sentenced to 4 years in prison today, so that sucks. These rappers, these entertainers, these young cats out here. I'm young, I'm 26, but I speak to them like an old head. Y'all young cats out here is wildin'. Y'all tempers is on 100. Y'all don't have no good and solid thought process. It's just crash out, act now, think later, and y'all risking y'all lives, y'all risking y'all freedom. You know, I don't think I think me and Blueface is about the same age, or he might be older than me, or he might be younger. I mean, but I'm pretty sure we close in age, and it just it sucks to see that happen, especially to somebody who has a level of success that people envy. That people would people will say like, man, if I had that, I would I would sit down somewhere, try to be, but they I wouldn't say that they foolhardily try to maintain the image of things of that nature, but they it seems like people once they use a gimmick or use an image to portray something, it's like they gotta live by it, and that's how they want to live their life. And it's just sad. A lot of these young brothers out here is wasting their life away or wasting their freedom because it's foolishness and craziness, and nobody wants, it be seem like nobody want to work hard, or, everybody wants a handout, everybody want to take something, and it's just, the world we live in is crazy, and it's just best for if you get in a situation where you get some money and you're able to provide for yourself and move yourself away, that's what you should focus on. A lot of these dudes, even if they get the record deal and a little bit of camaraderie, they still in the street. They still doing what they do. So it's just a sad situation. Wack 100 say he probably be out in about 9-10 months. Pretty sure you do good, and you do good and you don't get too many infractions. You come up for parole. They usually give you parole. Hey, hope, but this is a learning lesson for him. Krishan reportedly got sentenced to 8 years. I don't know how true those reports are, but I mean, they just brought a kid into this world, and they both about to be in prison. So hope this is a wake-up call, not only for them, but for a lot of young people that are in toxic situations or that are just misguided and don't have that that figure. I mean, you blame the parents because they should have did better, but it's always good to just try to help people when you can, and try to give them advice, because you never know, you might have a conversation with somebody that may stop them for doing something that'll affect them for the rest of their life. So always keep that in mind. I'm not telling everybody to go be missionaries, I guess. I'm not telling everybody to be saints. I'm just saying, if you see somebody going through a rough time, a rough patch, anything, talk to them, pick their brain, and let them know, hey, look, you're gonna be good. If you could help. I mean, because a lot of these dudes that do these things that lead to dead or jail is because nobody want to help them, nobody want to look out for them. So I think we work on that as a society, we'll be better as a whole, as a community. But right now it's just sad. A lot of rappers getting killed, getting put in jail, whether they got kids or don't got kids, it's just as equal as worse. And it's not far and few in between anymore. It's more often than not. So we got to do better. And when I say we, y'all know who I'm talking to. We have a stigma over our people and our culture that makes the folks that don't do anything wrong, that don't do anything, be associated with it just because of the actions of our peers. It's not fair. I don't feel like you should judge a large group on the actions of certain individuals, but that's what happens. So we have to do better. Lighter and warming of the heart news. Shout out to Rich Paul and Adele. Reports are they got engaged, and it's just good to see. It's just good to see people in love and people wanting to get, still wanting to get married and still wanting to do it the traditional way. I wouldn't say the right way, because what works for me may not work for you. What works for you may not work for me. But like I said, it's good to know that they've been in a relationship for a little minute now. They've been public, seen places, games and all that. It's good to know that they're taking their relationship serious, and hopefully, it's a lasting relationship. It's a healthy relationship, and if they within their childbearing years, they bring children into this world. I hope they raise, beautiful children, upstanding citizens, and they live their life happily ever after. I mean, that's all you risk for somebody who, for people who's in love and wanting to get married, and it's a beautiful thing. Not a lot of people get the opportunity. Some people that go through their whole life, some women go through their whole life never being proposed to. Some men go through their life never getting told yes. So it should be celebrated. Congrats to them. Shout out Adele. Shout out Rich Paul. Today was a crazy day. I mean, like I say, with my debacle with my audio and everything, I had some great content for y'all, but I felt like this was some great content for y'all as well. I'm gonna do better at getting better. I'm gonna work at perfecting my craft. I'm honestly thinking about doing a 2 podcast route. Still gonna be nonstop with AWOOD and Jay. We should be recording later on today and getting ready to drop our gonna drop a 2-part pilot, so be looking for that. And yeah, I'm gonna do the pod with him, and we're gonna make big things happen. And I think I'm gonna continue to do my my little personal podcast, give my personal opinion on things, and go from there. People are being real supportive of me, and I really respect that. I'm glad that I have that. I'm glad I have people in my life that are heard I want to do this, and seeing and listen. I appreciate everybody who I've told that listened to or watched it, and I just want to let y'all know I'm gonna go hard on this. I'm gonna go hard with this and really try to blossom and get better at my craft. I got people that want to be interviewed. I'm gonna be a different type of content creator. If you want to be interviewed, if you got a life story, I want to hear it. I mean, let's talk. Let's have a conversation. Let's put let's put different stories and different life experiences from people from all type of walks of life, whether it's the ups or the downs, the highs or the lows. I want to get that to the people. I want to get people that maybe, normal people that may just have a story to tell, and I want to get their stories out, and I want people to hear, perspectives from regular people in the world, as far as, what, the who's who, the what's happening and all that. So I got a few people in my circle, in my corner that I've talked to, and they real supportive, and they willing to get on here and have a conversation with me, and yeah, I really enjoy this. I'm really excited about it. Like I said, I was discouraged earlier when it happened, but I said, you know what, get a disclaimer. I'm gonna get a disclaimer to the people, and I'm gonna keep pushing. I'm gonna dust myself off, and I'm gonna try again. So, and that's what I did. So, like I say, today was the day, but at the end of the day, we get to the end of the day and we move forward. So, last thing I want to leave y'all with, my son made 1 month today. Real happy for him. Congratulations, Prince. Daddy loves you. You getting so big, you growing every day, and I love you, little dude. I'm so happy to be a father. I'm so happy to watch this journey. I be tired. I be you know, he puts us through the ringer. He puts me and his mom through the ringer, but I wouldn't have it no other way. I love my little man. Yeah, look forward to watching him grow and develop, and hoping and praying for a healthy childhood, and, you know, on to healthy adolescence, and on to healthy adulthood. I mean, that's all we could hope for, you know, as parents, that our kids grow up healthy and can become successful one day. So shout out my dog Prince. Made a month today. He's growing. So, like I say, I'm gonna try to leave y'all with a quote that I found on Instagram. You know, might be funny, might be inspirational, might be one, but might be whatever. But I'm gonna tell y'all the one I chose today. This is a message to all my baby mamas out there. A BD with money is cool, but a BD that fix stuff, that's a blessing. Y'all get y'all a handyman. He might got him a little money, but shit, some break and it's middle of the night and that money ain't gonna help. You need that handyman. You need that know what to do with them tools, know what to do with that hammer and them nails, you know. So y'all keep that shit in mind when y'all picking these dudes. Y'all chasing after that money, and dude, y'all catch a flat on the side of the road in the middle of the night. Y'all waiting an hour and a half, 2 hours for a tow truck because buddy don't know how to change a tire. That money don't make no man. It just make you more what you already are. Y'all remember that. I'm AWOOD from the hood. I'm gonna catch y'all later.
Yeah, my mama told me stay out these streets because I'm gifted.